What's up guys, Justin here of Yugatech, and the market for mid-range smartphones just keeps growing and growing from range to design. And Huawei recently released their new addition to their Y series of smartphones, which is the Huawei Y8p, and this is our full review. First, let's talk about design. The Y8p doesn't have major design changes compared to its predecessor. What appeals to us, however, is its body with lesser bezels but with thicker chin. It also has curved edges that lets it be an easy-to-grip device, and there's also an in-display fingerprint scanner that we will talk more about later on. On the front is a 6.3-inch display that's covered with a pre-installed screen protector. You can also see the outdated dewdrop notch on top, which houses its 16-megapixel front-facing camera, and on top of that is the earpiece. Checking out the left side, we have a SIM card tray, but instead of a dedicated micro SD card slot, it has a slot for Huawei's NM card. On the right side are the power button and volume rocker. The buttons are slim and pretty clicky. On top, you'll find the 3.5mm audio jack and a secondary microphone, while below are the main microphone, USB Type-C port, and the loudspeaker. And finally, at the back, you'll find a triple rear camera setup stacked vertically together with an LED flash and some Huawei branding. Noticeably, the camera bump doesn't make the phone wobble when placed on flat surfaces, so it's fine. Its back is made out of glossy polycarbonate material with a metal frame. And the unit we have is in the breathing crystal color, but it's also available in midnight black for a more elegant look. The Y8p's 3D curved edges fit perfectly against the sleek design that makes it more comfortable to hold, and you can easily go with it inside your pocket. For display, the Huawei Y8p has a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels that equates to a 418 pixels per inch. Huawei definitely upped their game by equipping this smartphone with a 20 by 9 aspect ratio, which is the current trend nowadays. The display is bright and details are incredibly sharp with vivid colors, especially when watching videos. Usage under direct sunlight is perfectly fine too. And when it comes to audio, the single downward firing speaker is not that loud, and audio distortion takes place at the maximum volume. The sound profile leans more on the mids, and honestly, you'd be better off using headphones if you want to enjoy a better sound quality. Talk about performance, the Y8p is powered by a Kirin 710F processor coupled with a Mali G51 MP4 GPU, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage that's expandable up to 256GB via NM card. The processor used is quite outdated already, so we did not expect above average performance from it. Simple navigation is smooth, but sometimes it has a delay in touch responses. When it comes to heavy games, we tried Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty, and they're playable in this device with a few frame drops, so for you to enjoy a game, you need to lower your graphic settings. We also noticed that it warms up after some time, but it shouldn't be much of a concern. Take a look at the benchmark scores we got. When it comes to software, it runs on Android 10, skinned with Huawei's EMUI 10.1. It looks simple and clean in the eyes. By default, there's no app drawer, but users can opt to have one in the settings. The basic navigation is straightforward. Unfortunately, as this is Huawei, it doesn't offer any Google mobile services on board, so you'll have to install it for yourself. But on the bright side, it has Huawei's growing app gallery for your most used non-Google apps. There's a lot of pre-installed applications which you might find annoying, including games that you probably won't play and some bloatware. We were actually impressed with the implementation of the in-display fingerprint scanner, even though the unlocking sequence may take around 2 seconds to work, and the same goes for the face unlock. Now, keeping this phone running is a 4000 mAh battery. When tested at PCMark's battery test, the phone lasted for 12 hours and 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in our standard video loop test, it yielded 14 hours and 15 minutes. Alright, moving on to cameras, the Huawei Y8p actually has competitive quality. It packs a 48 megapixel primary lens, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Up front, we have a 16 megapixel front shooter. It has main modes like photo, video, portrait, night, aperture, and many more. The images produced by the 48 megapixel rear shooter are really good, although colors may look pale depending on your light situation. Details are present and the photos produced are subpar under low light conditions, so make sure to have a good little source of light before taking any shots. The front 16 megapixel shooter quality is decent if there is a good lighting, and if it's not against the light. And when it comes to video recording, you can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. The stabilization isn't great, so make sure to have a steady hand and its autofocus can get jittery. What's good though is that you can maximize the wide-angle lens while shooting videos. That's a bonus. So finally, let's talk about price. The Huawei Y8p has its imperfections. For its price of 12,999 pesos, I find it a little bit pricey. Its specs and some features are not that impressive anymore as it is outdated, plus it doesn't have any Google mobile services. While its performance is average, the OLED display, good viewing experience, camera quality, decent battery life, and in-display fingerprint scanner capabilities are what makes the device stand out. But overall, we think Huawei definitely can do better than this. So yeah, that's it for our full review of the Huawei Y8p. What do you guys think about this phone? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this is Justin, and don't forget to wash your hands and stay at home.